teams in TCL action. I'm Beto Duran alongside my good friend, the long buddy who showed me the ropes in the world of boxing, Dave Bontempo. Dave, so good to see you.
You too,
And when
man.
they told me I get to work with Bontempo in Team Boxing League, I said, this is perfect right here. Because Bontempo is all about action. You're all about fighters, and you've been watching every single week. And when you see Nashville, when you see Atlanta on the schedule, Dave, I said, there's a vibe, there's an energy between these two teams. What are we going to see tonight?
Well, Beto, this is a rematch. Great to see you again, too. And what this is we saw a slow start. But back in week 1, Nashville beats Atlanta. They're 2-3 now. Atlanta starts 0-3. What did they do? They annexed Texas. They beat Dallas. Boom. Houston. Boom. San Antonio. Boom. Back-to-back. 3 terrific victories for the Atlanta team. They are on a roll right now. And for Nashville, now they're the team that's lost 2 in a row, trying to climb out of it and see if they can start to do what Atlanta did. So they met in week 1. What happens now?
What happens now? We know that the month of May was great for Atlanta. Let's look at the highlights from TCL Team Boxing League Day.
Yeah, Atlanta's been on an incredible roll and some very good performances from the Davises. Doctors Robinson winning incredible amounts, 19 out of 24 rounds in one of the competitions, and they have been able to string it together. Coach Sam Arnold has his team thinking as one. We're seeing the power performers, we're seeing the lighter weight fighters. They have been a juggernaut all the way through. Look at that San Antonio performance after 19 of 24 before. So, you know, teams start out 0-3 and they say, we found something, and you say, yeah. Well, they did.
Well, they did. They won 20 of 24 rounds in San Antonio, and that big knockout right there was huge for Atlanta. You're right. Coach Sam gets his Atlanta attack squad. They have an energy. They have a fervor about them. And Doctress Robinson, undefeated, looking good.
Yeah, he has really come a long way. He has been one of the big forces with that team. And you get a couple leaders, they come up and do some nice things for you, and all of a sudden your team starts to roll. Atlanta, the midseason juggernaut of this league, and Nashville just on the outside of the playoffs looking in. So this is very important for them.
And for Nashville, a team that's new to TCL Team Boxing League, and they're not acting like it. They're veterans, the way that they are in the ring, the way they come out and attack, or should I say smash.
They were smashing early on this season, and we see Kuza, who will catch on later tonight, has been one of their leaders. And they haven't had any bad performances. They've just kind of hit a wall in the last couple, but they have a lot of raw talent on this team. And the question tonight is, do they have enough to beat Hot Atlanta? But Nashville has its share of top performers, especially with the big guys. And this one has been hot. Tony Johnson Jr.
On his feet, out on their feet. I like the way that Tony Johnson comes in. Anytime you get the heavyweights throwing bombs like that, be careful.
And you have them usually in the last part of the launch rounds, of the money rounds, so they can make a lot of expensive things happen if you have a lead and it goes away.
Let's look at the TCL Team Boxing League standings. Vegas undefeated, 5-0. The Smoke from Philly, 4-0. Houston Hitmen at the end with 0-5, but they're still dangerous. We'll see them later on. But it's everybody in the middle is just jumbled up every single week is big for you. How it works, 24 exciting rounds coming your way, and it all gets going with the launch rounds. There you're going to see 8 rounds. Really good action. Michelle Morales and Alyssa Bolts will get it going with the women, and then Fernando Cuza and Brandon Glenn will close it out in the launch round. So that's, Dave, when you look at this, I'm like, okay, the launch rounds are good, the middle rounds are good, and then you have the money rounds later, but there's always got to be one round where I know Dave Bontempo's like, Beto, that's the one. Do not go away for this one.
Do not go away for this one. There will be a few of those, and we're going to say for the launch rounds, Austin Dulé, the coach's son, who has been a mainstay for that team. We'll see him in the 4th fight as a fight to watch. And, Doctors Robinson has been on a hot streak, so go with the hot guys and go with the guy who's been the leader for Nashville.
And I like DeLay's attitude, his demeanor. He seems like he's a leader for that Nashville Smash squad. Atlanta is where we're at tonight. Our man inside the ring, the one and only Bubba Jenkins. Bubba, what's the vibe like inside?
What a vibe is good, baby. We're here in Atlanta. Listen, when you got a rematch here in Atlanta of the Nashville Smash and Atlanta Attack, you got to talk about adjustments. You got to talk about coaching adjustments. And that's what I said to Sam. I was like, what's the adjustments you guys are making? He said, first things first, baby. Last time we were in Smashville, Nashville, Tennessee, wherever we were, we're in Atlanta tonight, baby. And it's a must win. Maybe not a must win, but if they win, they're in. So that's something they're excited about here in Atlanta, hosting a good team that they can hopefully get some revenge on. It's a nice atmosphere here tonight, but a lot of guys in the back are thinking revenge-minded.
Bubba can talk, Bubba can dance, Bubba can fight, and Bubba can bring the energy and the vibe. We'll be catching up with Bubba all night long in Atlanta. And Bubba brought up something, good point, Dave. Atlanta, they win, they're in the playoffs. It's a great incentive tonight.
Yeah, it really is, because with the 8 matches for the season, and you're on a hot streak like this, 4 you get in. You might even get in with 3. So for your Nashville, you're thinking, you know what, maybe if we can get this one, we're in there too. But the revenge factor is important with the Atlanta Fighters. You want to show that you've come a long way since week 1, and this is a new time.
And also, you want to make sure you get into the right seedings, depending on who you're going to take on in the playoffs. TCL Team Boxing League coming your way. Let's look at what we're going to have tonight. The Atlanta Attack, a playoff spot on the line for them if they win, hosting the Nashville Smash. That's coming up next. TCL Team Boxing League with you on Merit TV Sports.
All eyes on the East. It's doubleheader time. First, catch the Philadelphia Smoke take on the Miami Assassins. Then, the NYC Attitude squares off against bitter rival the Boston Butchers. The East always throws down.
Oh, good combination.
Don't look away. Philly, Miami, then NYC, Boston. Tomorrow night at 9:30 on Merit TV.
I was drinking every day.
I was hooked on oxys.
My husband turned into someone I didn't recognize.
The addiction crisis. Worse than a pandemic, we have a growing epidemic. There are approximately 20 alcohol and drug-related deaths per hour every single day. Addiction is a disease. Like any other disease, it may have serious harmful effects and may lead to death if left untreated.
Introducing Serenity Springs Recovery Center, a place of recovery and rediscovery. We understand the unique challenges men face in their journey to recovery. Set on 38 private acres, our state-of-the-art facility offers a safe, supportive environment for healing and growth. Our team of dedicated professionals specializes in evidence-based treatment, providing our patients with the tools to overcome addiction and achieve long-term sobriety. If you or a loved one needs to make a change, call us today at 386-423-4540 or visit us online at serenityspringsrecovery.com and reclaim your life.
Balance of Nature is a proud partner of TCL Team Boxing. As a preferred customer, you'll get 35% off your first set when you use the code FIGHT. Go to balanceofnature.com or call today. All right, let's go inside the ring. Let's meet our fighters and our ring announcer tonight, Patrick Creighton.
Fight fans, welcome and thank you for joining us at Legacy Arena. We'd like to thank the Georgia Athletic and Entertainment Commission, along with Executive Director Matt Woodruff, for hosting our event. We'd like to thank our sponsors for tonight's event: Climax Moonshine Fire number 32, Balance of Nature, Serenity Springs Recovery Center, HotelPlanner.com, and Tim Smith Spirits. Fight fans, please welcome the Nashville Smash!
No need for us to backtrack. PTSD flashbacks. Black Chevelle with that fastback.
22s in this matte black. Money moving like a cash app. I'ma lose, baby, that's
Nashville Smash making their way into Legacy Arena in Atlanta. Stone Cold face on the fighters. They know what's on the line as the season progresses in TCL Team Boxing League.
Stand for family and you die for something. Honor, respect, loyalty or murder. Something that a lot of y'all ain't heard of. I don't wanna murder, so don't back me in the corner. What I'm doing with my life really don't
And they walk in as a team, introduced as a team, support each other. It's a different kind of combat sport, and it's a vibe, it's an energy. And the fighters do talk about feeling that family atmosphere.
Yeah, you're doing everything for your teammates as well as yourself. And now as a team, they're trying to win a rematch after they lost a rematch earlier to Miami. And they fought well in the second fight of that losing streak to New York, but New York just had a very hot night that time.
really don't concern you. Lips sealed, but my eyes open. I'ma speak my mind till my eyes closed. Lies told, only a fool believes. When the honor's gone, baby, who gon' grieve? R.I.P. Respect, you gonna lose your chips with only half a deck.
From Coach Fred DeLay's Nashville Smash, bantamweight Michelle Morales, featherweight Leandric Showtime Johnson, featherweight Kanisha Johnson, the fighting pride of the 615, lightweight Austin Dulay. Welterweight Yoelis Big Dog Molina. Super welterweight Jeremiah the Proof Hinton. Middleweight Isaiah Elrod. Heavyweight Fernando the Legend Cuza. Lightweight Roger the Hitman Hilly. Super lightweight Martina Kroll. Welterweight Hermes the Warrior Kid Orta. Super middleweight one, just business, Barajas. Light heavyweight William the Kid Langston. Cruiserweight Rayvon Big Shot Baxter. Former three-time ACA World Champion, King of the Cage World Champion, Bare Knuckle Boxing World Champion, Heavyweight Tony Johnson Jr. And their opponents, your hometown Atlanta Attack!
Yeah. The city is up in the madness.
There's Coach Sam bringing his squad out there. Always has them ready to go. Does a great job training these fighters in Atlanta. See Ryan Martin, veteran of TCL, but I always love the demeanor that Coach Sam has with him, because when he's in that corner, you talk about motivational, Dave. He gets you locked in.
He does, and he said after they won their first fight back, he said, we're not going to lose the rest of the year. And so far, he's been a prophet with that. Yeah, and the team concept of this is really significant. Are we talking about one of the fighters with that later on in the show, how TCL can stand apart from what's happening compared to regular boxing. You get hot in this league and you can lift your teammates up, and we've seen a few examples of that. This team comes in, there's a swagger now. There's a fervor of expectation around this team.
Got that ATL attitude. They're called the Attack for a reason.
From Coach Sam Arnold's Atlanta Attack. Bantamweight, Alyssa Bolts. Featherweight, Javon Pop Woodward. Featherweight, Deidre Rhodes. Lightweight, Doctress Doc the Giant Robinson. Welterweight, Ryan Blue Chip Martin. U.S. Army veteran, super welterweight, Amin Fast Eddie Mitchell. Middleweight, Vaughn Alexander. Heavyweight, Brandon Bulletproof Glanton. Lightweight, Traquan Superman Pettis. Super lightweight, Ariel Davis. Welterweight, Javon Big Wolf Davis. Former national champion and IBA America's champion, super middleweight, Keandre Lightning Leatherwood. Light heavyweight, the Great Money Pow. Cruiserweight, Jonathan the Reaper Rice. Heavyweight, Samuel Mr. Red Clarkson. Fight fans, at this time we ask that you please rise and remove your hats and give a warm welcome to Kiara Sanders as she performs our national anthem.
For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets spread glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Legacy and Arena in Atlanta. The national anthem has been sung. Let's get ready to go for TCL Team Boxing League. There you see the Atlanta Attack in white. The Attack right on their belt. 8 rounds coming your way, the launch rounds. Then 8 more in the middle rounds, and then 8 in the money rounds. Fighters could go twice if they're scheduled to do that. Some of these fighters will. Each round is scored. All 24 rounds will be tallied up, and you'll know exactly what's going on at the end of every round.
The launch rounds. Round 1 is in the 118-pound division. In the blue corner for the Nashville Smash, Michelle Morales. In the red corner for the Atlanta Attack, Alyssa Bolts.
All right, so Michelle Morales in the black for the Nashville Smash. Alyssa Bolts in the white for Atlanta. And the women do fight 3-minute rounds. That's something our good friend Amelia Moore is a big advocate about, and all the women in TCL are all about that, giving them the even as the men have it. And they come out aggressive, Dave, right away.
Yeah, and this was the groundbreaking platform for the 3-minute rounds. And the women start off all of our contests, and excellent action. As we're going to see Morales trying to swarm Bolts and trying to get inside the jab and use power and muscle her way in. And Bolts has been a smooth performer recently for Atlanta.
Yeah, Bolts is at 3-5 in TCL action. Morales is 5-1-1 outside of TCL. And in TCL, she's 5-2. The 27-year-old who was born in Chicago in navy and yellow, the colors of the Nashville Smash. You see the height difference, 5'6" to 5'1", is Bolts born in Minnesota.
So it gives you a good idea about the contrast and what do each of these fighters want to do. So if you're Bolts, you'd like to stay outside, pop the double jab, use your height and reach. She's trying to show you there that she's using it. And if you're Morales, you're trying to time that jab and get inside of it. You've got to take a risk to work your way inside so you can do your best work.
These two ladies will see each other in round 9. Good right hand landed by Michelle Morales, followed by a hook. Another right hand from the 5'1" Morales. Nashville squad standing on their feet. That's what Team Combat League is all about, supporting each other from the opening round. Guys aren't just off to the side like, I'm worried about me. No, it's all unity.
And there is a lot of adrenaline about being the first one out of the box to start the competition off. You hear the anthem, you see the introductions, and you're first, and you're the first one that's going to go out there and perform, and that was the best punch of the fight coming in for Morales, doing exactly what we were talking about. She slipped the jab and landed the right hand.
There you see Pop Woodward. He's coming up next for Atlanta. He'll be taking on Leandre Johnson. So at the end of the round, the next fighter, get on in there. Bolts to the left. And Morales, the shorter fighter, is a pit bull. I know the pit bull is the logo for the Atlanta Attack, but Morales would fit in well over there the way she comes and attacks.
Yeah, she really would, and a very accomplished fighter. And what you really have to like what she did tonight is how calm she is, knowing that she had to dodge the first shot before she could get in. And then she did that, and now she's thinking of trying to finish with a flourish.
10 seconds to go in the first round of TCL action in Atlanta. All right, this is the way to get going. The women going back and forth. Morales and Bolts get us going. We'll see them again in round number 9.
Yeah, for Bolts, you did everything you could on the outside, and Morales was that pit bull. She had a very good performance in this. Working inside, she slips one, and then she fires. And you need a certain type of mentality to be able to be the one who has to fire second, which she did. But she was effective, and she got the better punches home.
Fight fans, we have a split decision. Our first judge scores the round 10-9 for Michelle Morales. Our second judge scores the round 10-9 for Alyssa Bolts. Our third judge scores the round 10-9 for your winner via split decision in the blue corner from the Nashville Smash, Michelle Morales.
Well, Nashville gets the first 10 points.
10-9.
Michelle Morales.
Brought to you by Climax Moonshine Fire number 32, known to bring the heat. Our second round is in the 126-pound division. For the Nashville Smash, Leandric Showtime Johnson. For the Atlanta Attack, Javon Pop Woodward.
All right, second round, Atlanta in white. That's Pop Woodward. He's got a stoppage, and he's been stopped in TCL action. Against Leandric Johnson, who's 6-7 in TCL work this season. The man from Talladega, Alabama. Little smirks from each other as they're landing some lefts. Good jab landed by Nashville in the navy and blue. I mean, the navy and yellow.
And if you have an aggressive style, you
staggered him, did Woodward.
You're going to get some stoppages, and you will be stopped. And that was an excellent start for Woodward.
Woodward, aggressive with that left hook. Buckled the knees of Johnson. And Woodward, that stiff jab, trying to use it to his advantage. This is one that's evenly matched between Woodward and Johnson.
Yeah, and if you get a 10-8 round via a knockdown, that's big for your team. 2 knockdowns would create a 10-7, the effect of a knockout. So the way the style has unfolded here, these guys are going for more than 10-9.
There's that right hand from the Nashville Smash. Doubling up, falling around with a hook, does Johnson. Toe-to-toe, they're just standing and trading.
They said, ladies and gentlemen, for this fight, the jab is optional.
Yeah. The mouthpiece goes flying for Woodward. This is the only time we're going to see Woodward tonight, so he's taking advantage of his 3 minutes.
I think it'll be interesting in the last round with the way these guys have been rapid firing if anybody's arms get tired.
Dave's never ready for it.
But yeah, they are, but will anybody slow down a little in that final minute?
And that's the beauty of TCL, where the pace keeps on going and going, because the fighters know you only got 1 round, maybe 2, and they're going to go all out. Right hand landed by Leandric Johnson again, trying to follow with an uppercut. Body shot from Woodward. In white. This is the makings of we're outside of TCL. 10 rounds between these two, that'd be a good pace.
It really would be. It would be an extraordinary pace for them. And they have to teach themselves how to pace for 1 round. Yeah. You see some fighters with maybe glittering professional records come into this format, and they can't quite master it because they can't get all their action done, and they have to learn how to speed up.
It's a sprint. They're going back and forth. Johnson and Woodward, Atlanta, Nashville. Woodward trying to land an overhand right. Instead, he eats an overhand right from Leandric Johnson. Did Johnson do enough to win round number 2?
It was Woodward early. It was Johnson late, and Johnson is the one making the impression, the last impression.
Look at this, right hand from the Pop. Right at the bell. Good action. Atlanta and Nashville again is going round 2, picking up every single round is hot.
Take a look at how they got to this point. Early on, the good shots from Woodward, and then Johnson getting his chances late. And look at how he's watching for the opportunity. How do I split the gloves?
Ladies
he takes
and gentlemen,
some,
we have another split decision.
and then a hook.
Our first judge scores this round 10-9 for Leandrick Johnson. Our second judge scores it 10-9 for Javon Woodward. Our third judge scores this round 10-9 for the winner via split decision. Out of the blue corner for the Nashville Smash, Leandrick Showtime Johnson.
So Johnson got 2 of the 3 judges.
Nashville leads 20-18. Round 3 is in the 126-pound division. For the Nashville Smash, Kanisha Johnson. For the Atlanta Attack, Deidre Rhodes.
Round number 3, Kanisha Johnson for Nashville. She's got the white top. Deidre Rhodes with the white trunks for Atlanta.
Well, you already know not to leave anything out there. But if you needed any further reminder, as we have heavy action right away here, is we've had 2 split decisions and 2 verdicts.
And there's Kanisha Johnson looking for her first win in TCL. Started boxing because the goal was to lose some weight. Now she's all about advocating for living with intention, embracing each season of life. That's what TCL is all about, giving people an opportunity to chase their dreams and make an impact wherever they may be.
Yeah, there is always another season of life to embrace.
Now she's got her hands full though with Deidre Rhodes. She's a tough fighter. Deidre from St. Louis, Missouri. Good right hand from Rhodes. Both fighters 5'1". Up next will be Austin Dulay against Doctors Robinson. The round you said to watch out for.
That's our watch round up next. And we've got a good start for Nashville in this one. And Johnson off to a good start, too, as we're seeing a lot of holding here by Rhodes.
Johnson trying to fight out of it. Finally, they get separated in the center of the ring.
Now, if you're Johnson, you want to try to do the same thing and try to make it look that Rhodes is holding. And there's a shoulder bump by Rhodes as she's looking for positioning.
We're approaching a minute to go in round number 3. Right hand from Rhodes. You're right, Dave. They grasp hands again, grasp arms again.
And if we have seen in recent times that the referees have been able to take points from fighters. I mean, they do that. So you hold too much, it's going to work against you. Yeah, you think in a one-round fight, maybe they won't make those calls, but we have seen penalty points deducted for holding.
The left landed.
And holding has been the theme of this one. And this won't be easy for the judges either.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the judges have to say about this.
With this clutch-a-thon.
We're done with 3 rounds.
Now, Johnson appeared to have the edge early, and then it leveled off. So we'll see if that early lead was enough for her or if that was turned around.
Rhodes feeling pretty good about herself.
Fight fans, we have our 3rd straight split decision.
This one had to be split.
Our first judge scores it 10-9 for Kanisha Johnson. Our second judge scores it 10-9 for Deidre Rhodes. Our third judge scores it for the winner by split decision. Out of the red corner For the Atlanta Attack, Deidre Rhodes.
All right, so Atlanta gets their first round.
Leads 29-28. This round brought to you by Balance of Nature, proud health supplement partner of TCL. Round 4 is in the 135-pound division for the Nashville Smash. The fighting pride of the 615, Austin Dooley. For the Atlanta Attack, Doctress Doc, the Giant Robinson.
Now, this is a good matchup, Dave. You were talking about it before we went on the air. You talked about it in our open. This is the one you really wanted to see. But why, Dave? Why were you so excited for this one?
Well, because DeLay has emerged as the leader, the coach's son, trying to lead the other members of the team. So that's the guy they look to as they try to snap out of a 2-fight losing streak. And for the Doctress Robertson, the Doctress is in charge. 4 straight wins for him, and all of a sudden he's found himself. So these are fighters who, okay, you may not look at their records and say these are the most glittering fighters, but these are very important athletes in this contest.
Sitting ringside is Bubba Jenkins. Bubba, what do you see right now?
Well, I see Doctors kind of, picking and choosing his spots. He's at home, so he has the crowd, a little bit of, the home cooking, but this is definitely going to be a good matchup.
I get a little rough right there as Dooley picking up Doctress Robinson. I think Bubba liked that right there. He's looking for the takedown.
Oh, yeah. Good form on that double leg right there. I was in the back earlier asking Austin Dooley, does he ever, have that coach's son versus coach's son kind of aspect when you're going against someone like that? And he was like, you know what, with Doctress, maybe not so much, Maybe back in the earlier tournaments on the way up, we had that coach's son aspect. If I was going against another coach's son, you kind of took it personal. But, at the TCL with this level, every round changes and things are different, so not so much in this one. But you can see their coaches, the dads involved. You can see the anticipation from both of these fighters kind of having seen it and it being in their blood. So, like you said, very good matchup, very good round for us to be watching.
29-year-old Austin Dooley, the dream, the southpaw. Had Fred in his corner for the Nashville Smash. And we've seen over the years, Dave, father, son, and boxing can either go, it can only go 2 ways, really good or really, really bad. And this one's looking like it's good and good.
It is going well. We've seen some times when it implodes, but there's something that was important for DeLay on the way up. I kind of agree with what Bubba is saying there. Now it's just that he's a team leader. And we're waiting to see who's going to take the big chance in this fight stylistically, because we've got the lefty Dooley and we've got Robinson trying to plant that right-hand lead there and trying to be very precise and maybe studying long.
Both of these fighters only going 1 round. They got less than 30 seconds to go to put on. Lefty from Dooley lands flush. Doctors answering back.
You hear the coaching, people calling for that uppercut, but Dooley's not walking into the path of it.
10 seconds to go. Round number 4. Oh, the judges have been split decision all 3 rounds. Will the 4th be the same?
I'll make a prediction that they won't. All right, I'm gonna say maybe this was a little bit clear in the last minute, but we'll see. That's part of the fun of it, is to speculate. And the last minute, now, DeLay was able to do some good defensive countering work. Gets a straight left hand in. Then he's being tied up by Robinson. I thought he made his offense look more glaring.
Of this round by unanimous decision by the score of 10-9 in the blue corner for the Nashville Smash, Austin Dooley.
Well, you said it, Dave.
Nashville leads 39-37.
Good for DeLay.
Our 5th round
and
is
Nashville.
in the 147-pound division. For the Nashville Smash, Yoelis Big Dog Molina. Arena. For the Atlanta Attack, Ryan Blue Chip Martin.
Molina in the navy and yellow of the Nashville Smash. Born in Guantanamo, Cuba, now lives in Nashville, Tennessee. Only 21 years old. He's 6-1 in TCL action. Ryan Martin, they call him Blue Chip. He's from Tennessee, Chattanooga. He's been around the block for a while. Veteran of TCL, 32 years old. He's got 19 rounds in TCL action. He was with the LA squad last year, and this season going to the Atlanta Attack. I really like the way Molina has come out. We're watching TCL, even when I'm not working, watching it, and you just see whenever Nashville's up, Molina, Dave, when he comes in, he gives you a boost, like that energy that you expect from a 21-year-old.
Yeah, the exuberance and good attack here, good pace.
Like that, putting the veteran Martin against the ropes.
But also doing it in a scholarly way with the way he's been approaching it. Stay on the outside, jab, then work your way in, then get out. Now he's open for stuff on the counter, which makes it exciting, but he studies, and then he goes in, and then he takes his best shot, and that's been working for him.
Yeah, outside of TCL, Molina left Cuba, ended up in Tennessee. His pro debut got knocked out, and after that, he's knocked out 3 in a row. So from what I was told when he made his debut, a little bit of overconfidence, got caught, and after that, like, no more. And he just seems to be locked in the last couple of years.
And that's good, because a lot of fighters lose their pro debut, and you don't hear from them again. But he has a nice little momentum carry back. And that Cuban style, the disciplined boxing style, we've seen a lot of the Olympians, good left-handed type southpaw mastery.
Yeah, that Cuban school. Ryan Martin's been around the block. Fought Josh Taylor for a title. Robert Easter Jr. was on a Canelo Triple G undercard. He was once considered one of the hot prospects in the division. Now here is a 34. But he's a savvy vet. He knows how to lure you in, Dave.
And he has another platform with which to excel now with this league. So he lures you in. He's been trying to do that here with Molina. Molina has been maybe a little bit too effective against him. There's a good jab and get out of town by Molina. I really like the way that he understands the pace of this, in that you have to be fast, but also try to score and then reset. Now, give the judges a chance to actually interpret what you just did.
And we'll see Molina again in round number 20 when he takes on Javon Davis in the money rounds. Done with that.
It's a good performance by Molina.
Big smile from Molina, the 21-year-old. He always has that little shrug. Like, yeah, that's me.
And if you look at the body language, one fighter's happy, one fighter's not. And Molina on the outside here, and see that he's scoring and avoiding the counter. And it was a good way to finish what was a spirited effort between these two.
This round by unanimous decision by the score of 10-9 out of the blue corner for the Nashville Smash, Yo Ellis, Big Dog Molina. Nashville leads 49-46. This round brought to you by Serenity Springs Recovery Center, a place of recovery and self-discovery. Round 6 is in the 154-pound division. For the Nashville Smash, Jeremiah the Proof Hinton. For the Atlanta Attack, U.S. Army veteran Amin Fast Eddie Mitchell.
All right, Hinton and Mitchell, third man in the ring, or ringside, as Bubba Jenkins. Bubba, who do you got with you?
I got Keandre Leatherwood from Atlanta Attack, and me and him were talking backstage about the swing of the season. You know, we're getting into mid-season form, and I just wanted to, to elaborate a little bit on what you were saying backstage. You know, we're coming around that playoff, and, tell people what you're thinking.
Man, I feel Atlanta is looking really strong coming into this fight. It's a little rocky right now, but we finna pan it back out. You know what I mean? We done knocked out the last 3 in a row easy, got big leads, and, showed everybody what we really got on our team.
Well, last time you guys fought Nashville, it was in Nashville. You guys didn't get the win, and now you're in Atlanta. How you feel about the swing of things? Maybe the home crowd, maybe a little bit of home cooking.
Yeah, I think everything, guys like me feeling a lot sharper, was a little rusty early on, so everybody's coming together, filling out, so I feel a lot better right now.
All right, well, you have it. Atlanta Attack feels that camaraderie coming on, and it's that time of the season. They're getting there.
Jeremiah Hinton in there for Nashville, the 6-foot fighter. Amin Mitchell trying to get Atlanta back into the mix. Atlanta's only won 1 round as they're down 49-46. Mitchell could be that guy to get you in there, Dave. He's 10-3 in TCL action.
Yeah, and he's part of a group of fighters that have been resurgent for Atlanta. And in the last interview, Keandre Leatherwood hitting on some of it, the idea that some of the rust was shaken off, and these guys, as that will go as a slip, some of these guys
they're going to count as a knockdown.
Wow, it didn't look like a
pushed him.
That's an important call.
That is huge. I didn't make a big deal about it because I thought it was a push down.
Exactly what it looked like, but
that's big for Nashville. They hold on, it becomes a 10-8 round. But Mitchell did not complain much for Atlanta with less than a minute to go in round number 6.
He's trying to get even for that now, but in the meantime, now Nashville, you're fighting with a lot of momentum.
Coming up next, Isaiah Elrod and Von Alexander, the veteran. That'll be in round number 7. Hinton with the advantage. Recall those ruled the knockdown. 30 seconds to go in the round. And you can see in the background the Nashville squad letting their fighters know, their teammates, how much time is left. Telling them to attack. Oh, and Mitchell answers back. Oh, Amin Mitchell caught him with that right. Hinton goes down. So both fighters have gone down in round number 6.
That is a huge save. A huge save for Atlanta.
We said it, Dave. Mitchell is a man that can change things up for you. He was down, and he got his team back.
So maybe this ends up even, maybe a 9-9 or something like that, but that's saving 2 points. Now let's look at the first one. It's like a stumble.
Yeah, I don't know.
I still don't see the punch, but
this one was.
This one, there was no question about. That was a beautiful right hand. And that's how you save your team in the last 20 seconds of a fight.
And we'll see them again in round number 18 in the money rounds. Can't wait for that one.
Yeah, after what we just saw here, it's a great prelude. So this was about to become a 5-point lead for Nashville.
And there you see the face of Hinton. He knows. The hitman knows.
It was right there.
I like Mitchell's demeanor. Since I met that young man, I like his style. That man's 32 years old. But so the judge is trying to figure out the card, going a little bit longer than expected.
And it's a fighter that always makes you nervous. Like, what are they doing? Do they have an eraser on that pencil? What's happening here?
Well, they both went down. Hitman got him first. Then he got hit. Caught with the right hand. Yeah, both teams right now.
Fans, we have a split decision. Our first judge scores the bout 10-9, Jeremiah Hinton. Our second judge scores the round 10-9, Amin Mitchell. Our third judge scores the round 10-9 for your winner by split decision. Out of the blue corner for the Nashville Smash, Jeremiah the Proof Hinton.
All right, so it was
Nashville leads 59-55. Round 7 is in the 160-pound division. For the Nashville Smash, Isaiah Elrod. For the Atlanta Attack, Vaughn Alexander.
all right. So that round, even though it went to Nashville, because it wasn't a 10-8 round, Dave, Atlanta keeps it close.
Yeah, a big point saved. Apparently what they did was negated the knockdowns and then just went to regular scoring for 10-9. But, you know, those points matter, especially late when you're looking back. That was a point saved.
You know, essentially, that could be a huge factor late in the money rounds are still to come. This is round number 7 of the launch rounds. Isaiah Elrod, the southpaw, taking on the veteran Vaughn Alexander, 39 years old, with Nashville having a 4-point lead on the road. Elrod 5-5 in TCL action for the man from Knoxville, Tennessee, the 25-year-old. Vaughn's been around the block. He's got 7 fights in TCL, the 39-year-old from St. Louis. You might have been there for the start of his debut.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the St. Louis, a great fight town. It is nice to see these fighters who we saw as Olympians, then as pros, and now in some cases getting a shot back.
Yeah, Vaughn turning pro in 2004 on the Corey Spinks Zab Judah card back at the Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. Klitschko was on that card.
And we'll see that soon with Philly, with Jesse Hart, his father Cyclone Hart, going back to the Hagler days in the 60s and the 70s, and now going right up through professional career and being here.
Jesse Hart's put on some great shows over the years. Elrod away from TCL action is 6-0 with 4 stoppages. Got a TKO victory back in February before TCL action started.
There's a real life in this Nashville team tonight. They have a tremendous spring.
And it's Atlanta who, if they win, clinch that playoff spot.
Yeah, and that's good for them. And for Nashville, you're on the outside looking in after you were solidly in a spot. And if you can turn the tables here, you're back in the playoff picture. And 3 wins might be enough. We don't know yet, but 3 is a much bigger number than 2 in these situations.
Nashville right on the bubble if you're talking about the playoffs. They also have San Antonio and Philly to come up on their schedule, so they might need to win 2 of those to lock in a playoff spot. You don't want to get to this position where you need help. You want to take care of business on your own. And Elrod's trying to do that for the Nashville Smash. And we'll see these 2 again in the money rounds. They'll open up the money rounds. Round 17 will be Elrod and Alexander. Nice left got in there by Elrod, the lefty.
He had a lot of good moves, quick feet. Well, they say get to the action right away, and there's no better time like right out of the bell. Hello, boom.
Send that message right away, Dave.
Leap across the ring, telegraph it. Everybody saw it coming. He threw it anyway. That's enthusiasm.
We have a split decision.
Of course.
Our first judge scores this round 10-9 for Isaiah Elrod. Our second judge scores this round 10-9 for Vaughn Alexander. Our third judge scores this round 10-9 for the winner by split decision out of the blue corner for the Nashville Smash, Isaiah Elrod. Nashville leads 69-64. Round 8 is in the 205-pound plus division. For the Nashville Smash, Fernando the Legend Cusa. For the Atlanta Attack, Brandon Bulletproof Glanton.
There we go. The heavyweights are in it. As Nashville with a 5-point lead going into round number 8. Only one round won for the Atlanta. That was by Bridger Rhodes.
So this is where you're looking for some thunder from your big guy to mitigate that damage and come out of the launch rounds without too much trouble and maybe feel that you can be in it with a rally in the middle rounds.
Cuza, the Cuban for the Nashville Smash, born in Guantanamo, 25 years old. He's 5-2 in TCL action, including a stoppage a couple weeks ago.
And on the other side of that, if you're Cuza, if you do something dynamic here, what a way to exit the launch rounds for your team, who has had an excellent performance in this segment of the contest.
For Glanton, who was born in Riverside, now living in Georgia, he's 6-3 in TCL action. With the heavyweights, so I love watching the heavyweights in TCL, because a lot of times guys don't need all 3 minutes.
No, and they come out there, and we have seen some dynamic momentum changes in this league in some of these fights in which a team gets back in it with a big performance from their heavyweight and then parlays that into the next set of rounds.
They'll be doing it again in round number 21 in the money rounds. For Cuza, everything is with intention. There's no jab there.
No, trying for the hook, trying for the straight right hands. We have seen when the heavyweights have done their damage, we've seen heavyweights with good jabs that set a tone with that, and it puts them in position to throw a big shot.
Nashville had to sat down since they walked into the Legacy Arena in Atlanta. With good reason. They're up 69-64.
Hey, maybe there's a thing now. We're doing well. Nobody's allowed to sit down. You are enthusiastic when your team jumps out to a lead. You've been talking about this all week. You can't wait to get there. You travel as a team. You work out as a team. And look at this. This is one of their best launch round performances of the year.
Absolutely. A team that's on the playoff bubble doesn't look like it in the Nashville Smash. Fred Dulé squad coming out strong in the launch rounds. Final seconds of round number 8. And it looks like Nashville is on their way to winning another round, thanks to the Cuban, Fernando Cuza. Glanton trying to fire up the crowd and his teammates.
Usually takes one dynamic fighter or one big punch, and you look for the momentum changer, but hats off to Nashville for an exceptional effort in these first 8 fights.
The winner of this round by unanimous decision, 10-9, out of the blue corner for the Nashville Smash, Fernando the Legend Cuza. Fight fans, we have reached our first intermission with our current score, the Nashville Smash 79, the Atlanta Attack 73. We'd like to thank our sponsors for tonight's event.
Launch rounds are done. Nashville, well, their nickname is the Smash, and they're smashing. They went 6 or 7 of the 8 rounds, and they're up 79-73, coming out strong. The middleweights, the lightweights, the heavyweights, all doing work for the Nashville Smash. We're done with 8. We still got the middle rounds to go. TCL, Team Boxing League on Merit TV Sports.
As a physician, there were some tough lessons of life. We have no say on quantity, but I can help with quality of life. And that became my life's mission. And that's how I started Balance of Nature. It's my desire to help people's lives. And this is the best way I can do it.
Get 35% off your first set as a preferred customer. Claim this offer by using discount code.
Talk is cheap when it comes to saving our country. We're not just any cell phone service provider. We're Patriot Mobile. It's not enough to simply talk about values. We live them. Defending life, protecting our First and Second Amendments, and celebrating our military and first responder heroes. We're boots on the ground making a difference. We're America's only Christian conservative wireless provider with nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks and 100% US-based customer service. Join Patriot Mobile today and make an impact every time you use your cell phone.
I got charged for a stolen vehicle.
Time in jail. Witness the unfiltered reality of life on the inside. Then it's the ultimate showdown on the streets. Cops Reloaded.
Get on the ground!
Jail and Cops Reloaded. Weekdays starting at 4 Eastern on Dr. Phil's Merit TV.
TCL, Team Boxing League, brought to you by Serenity Springs Recovery Center, a place of recovery and self-discovery. We're in Atlanta, Legacy Arena, where the Atlanta Attack in their backyard. They're in trouble. They only win 1 round of the launch rounds as the Nashville Smash go on the road, and they're smashing the launch rounds. Impressive, Dave.
It really is, Beto. And let me tell you something about this Nashville team. This is a team that came in here. They're in the middle. So we've seen some big performances against for Miami with them. They had their 2-fight losing streak. This is a team that really needed what they just showed in those first 8 rounds. What a confidence builder. And what happens is when a team, Beto, is in the middle of the pack, sometimes you'll see exceptional performances, sometimes you'll see slumps. Right now, this team has risen exceptional, and they've got a vibe tonight.
Atlanta wins, they clinch a playoff spot. Nashville wins, they get closer to a playoff spot. They're right on the bubble. Let's look at some highlights from the launch rounds. We'll get going in round number 4. It was Austin Dulé and Doctress Robinson. The round you said to watch out for, and it lived up to it.
Hey, it really did, as these guys showed their veteran skills with Dulé trying to find room outside, and he got this with some good action and good scholarly technique in the last 30 seconds of the fight, moving laterally and taking it home. He won that one with his intellect and his foot speed.
All right, let's move on to round 6, a round that saw both fighters hit the deck.
Yeah, what else could you ask for? I mean, one that was a little bit a cheap one,
but it counts.
And then here was one that was very expensive for Nashville. Really important for Atlanta to save the points, but Nashville getting the win, and part of a great performance.
All right, but Hinton got the round. Let's look at the fight card. We're going to do it in the middle rounds. Michelle Morales and Alyssa Bolt will get going. Also going to see Martina Kroll and Ariel Davis, and then Tony Johnson Jr., Samuel Clarkson. We'll see them for the first time in the middle rounds. Now, Dave, when you look at the middle rounds, you're only won 1. What do they do?
Well, this is a real problem for them now because this has been a momentum team all year. We saw after the 0-3 start that they came in and they just got on top of teams. They got the big leads, as was said earlier. So now they have to show some character they haven't had to show in a while in trying to come from behind. That's a big task at home. So let's look at it this way. If you're Atlanta and you can do it, it shows a lot. But right now, it's Nashville's night.
All right, so Atlanta needs to bank some rounds. So which round is the one you're saying, Beto? This is the one. Don't go anywhere.
Let's go for the end of it.
Oh.
The heavyweights. You know we love to see the big guys, the big boppers, how the momentum changes over the course. So let's see if that works that way.
All right, we'll see the heavyweights in round number 16. But next up in the middle round is going to be the women. Let's go to our ring announcer, Patrick Creighton.
Fans, welcome to the middle rounds. Nashville leads 79-73. Round 9 is in the 118-pound division. For the Nashville Smash, Michelle Morales. For the Atlanta Attack, Alyssa Bolt.
All right, round number 9. Michelle Morales was a pit bull in opening round. Got that decision. It was a split decision, but she got it. And comes out aggressive. I love her attitude every single time.
Yeah, and so the adjustment thus falls on Bolts. If you're Morales, you want to do exactly what you did in that first fight. For Bolts, you know that you've got to be outside and try to pop that jab and keep the fight outside. But even when you know what to do, sometimes it's just a lot easier said than done. So what you'll try to do here is keep that jab out there all the time and try to do something to keep Morales from coming in, and maybe she'll try an uppercut.
TCL, Team Boxing League's Instagram account. Make sure you follow a lot of great behind-the-scenes footage. Also good stuff during the weigh-ins. And if you saw the picture of the weigh-in between Bolts and Morales, you're like, oh my goodness, this girl's so tall, this girl's so short. But Morales had that smirk on her face of, don't judge me by a cover.
Hey, I may be small, but I'm going to get inside your jab.
Absolutely.
And she's done that, and she's landed some excellent hooks early in this fight. All timing. There's another one.
She's very active, does not stop moving. There's Michelle Morales in the navy and yellow. And if you're Atlanta, Dave, you're down 6. You have to bank some rounds here in the middle rounds. If that's the case, then the money rounds don't even mean anything.
Right, and your big performers that you're looking to won't be able to do their thing. But here, you know, Bolts has her hands full, as this is an excellent Morales who is trying to do even more than she did in the first fight. And you say, why are all these hooks getting in? One thing that's hurting Bolts is she punches and she stops. And in that split second, Morales jumps in.
Yeah, Morales, outside of TCL action, is 5-1-1, has 2 stoppages in his career. We got a win last, actually November of 2023 was the last one. She only fought once last year, 24. She was doing TCL, but she turned pro in 2019 in Joliet, in Illinois. Chicago native. Also fought in Gary, Indiana.
Well, I'll tell you what she's coming into here is Morales sensing nothing coming back. She's going for big time.
Yes, she is. Upstairs, going Morales, chopping down the tree.
It started with the punches that Bolts were hitting her with were not discouraging her at all, and so she just became more indignant here.
The 27-year-old Michelle Morales looking to go 2-0 tonight. And give Nashville another round. Final seconds of round number 9. The Nashville smash continuing.
They're not going to call this one a split.
No, Dave, I'm going to get the highlighter out. Put this on the pen. Morales in the corner like, I can go another 8. What do you guys need? What do you need? What do you need?
You want a 10-8? You want a 10-7?
Yeah,
I can deliver it. And she did everything but that here. There's the hook. Watch it. Bolts had stopped. And Morales is timing Bolts beautifully. The stop, and then she comes in with 2. And then she comes right back with some more.
The winner of this round by unanimous decision by the score of 10-9 out of the blue corner for the Nashville Smash, Michelle Morales. Nashville leads 89-82. This round brought to you by Climax Moonshine Fire number 32, known to bring the heat. Round 10 is in the 135-pound division. For the Nashville Smash, Roger the Hitman Hilly. For the Atlanta Attack, Traquan Superman Pettis.
Superman Pettis trying to give Atlanta a round as they're down 89-82. And Traquan, we see him for the first time tonight, undefeated 4-0 in TCL action for the 29-year-old born in Augusta, Georgia.
And beyond our rounds to watch, there's to be a great story to watch on the Nashville side with Roger Hilly. A couple weeks ago, he came in against New York with an 0-5 record. So in that situation, he had 3 great fights with Rakhmatulloev And then at the end of the night, he got one of the stars. He won 2 of the 3.
And love hearing those stories, Dave. Let's hear about the heavyweight that we're going to see in round 16. Tony Johnson is with Bubba.
That's right, I'm here with the Hulk. And last time we saw Hulk, he got a big knockout, massive knockout. Listen, it don't look like it's going to be much needed from you tonight with the one-way traffic. What has got Nashville beating Atlanta up like this tonight?
You know, we're trying to make the playoffs, so we know we're in Atlanta, so the judges aren't going to give us anything, so we come here to take it.
Well, last time you guys got the win, and this time it looks like, you know, they've only won 1 round so far. You guys are hitting on all cylinders as a team. I see your coach up there. What is your coach saying to you guys that may have you guys doing this?
Man, he said, look, they're not going to give you anything. We got to take this. You know, we're trying to get like I said, we're trying to get to the playoffs. So we know, and listen, we're trying to make a point. You know, we're not here to play. We're here to win.
All right, you heard from the legend right here, vet right there. He's got it noted from his coach. They got to get after it. They got to get in the playoffs. Back to you guys.
I like his attitude, knowing that you have a lead, go for it, because never leave it up to the hands of judges.
No, especially in a one-round situation. You just, you look at the split decisions we've seen tonight, and that is a big flag that goes up to the fighter. Say, okay, you know what? No matter how well you think you're doing, there still could be a judge that sees it the other way. So do everything you can to leave no doubt.
Pettis with a solid right hand. Pettis, outside of TCL, had a knockout victory at the end of April. Fight that only went 3 rounds. Outside of TCL, he's 7-1, 3 stoppages. It's perfect in TCL action. Yeah. TCL is great because you can have a fight a month ago, but you fight TCL, you stay sharp. Yeah, getting ready for the next one.
You stay sharp. You're in the gym getting ready for a 1-round fight. You get your 1-round fight. You might even fight twice, even 3 times in the course of a night. But you are in the gym. It keeps you there. Plus, you're with your teammates. It's a whole new thing. And for the Atlanta team situation, win here is needed. I think they got it.
Absolutely.
So therefore, not only are you staying in shape, but it just lifted up your teammates right now.
These two will go at it again in round 22 in the money rounds. Atlanta's got to stay close to make the money rounds count.
That was a good example of Pettis taking what the stylistic matchup gave him, using his height and reach very well.
The winner of this round by unanimous decision by the score of 10-9 out of the red corner for the Atlanta Attack, Traquan Superman Pettis.
So Atlanta gets their second round tonight.
Leads 98-92. Round 11 is in the 140-pound division. For the Nashville Smash, Martina Kroll. For the Atlanta Attack, Ariel Davis.
Women going 3 minutes. Ariel Davis, Bubba, we know her. She is a fantastic fighter, college basketball player, and do not mess with Ariel Davis, especially when they're down like this, Bubba.
Absolutely. She's the type of fighter that you need to get out there when your team is down, especially being at home. And I get called for being a Ariel Davis fan. I'm a fan of good fighters, good boxing, good everything, really. If it's good, I'm going to like it, right? And she just happens to be one of the most skilled in the boxing, whether it be women's division or the men's division. I think, we're going to see a landslide here with one-way traffic coming from her and her trying to pick up those extra points. She's going low, and I believe she's going to come over top and get a very, very nice highlight.
In TCL action, Dave, Ariel Davis is 16-2.
Yes, and she comes up at a very important time in this fight for Atlanta. Ariel Davis and then Javon Davis after. This is a potential rallying spot for Atlanta, being down by 6 points. So when you're mapping it out, these are 2 very important fights, and Atlanta has 2 top fighters in there right here.
I mentioned Ariel played college basketball. She was a guard, so she knows what it's like to go up against the bigger fighters. She was at a school in Louisiana. She's like, we'll go play anybody in the SEC. We're underdogs. It doesn't matter. She loves that underdog attitude, especially when they need it right now.
Well, you know what comes with being an underdog? An attitude. And that is really how a lot of underdogs overcome. The first is the belief system, and then they feed off anybody that doubts.
You can hear the Atlanta attack really getting after Ariel to get these points. You know, they're just saying dig to the body. You know, Nashville does have a lot of attitude in this women's division. You know, they got a lot of good fighters. You know, as you guys saw earlier, the young girl came out swinging for the fences and winning the round earlier for Nashville. But this is a different thing. You can see that written all over her face that a knockout to the body is coming soon.
Yeah, she's really going for it too, Bubba. She senses.
Yeah, she played for the University of New Orleans. And then after that, became a basketball trainer, coach, got into the boxing, and has not looked back. The 29-year-old Davis showing why she's one of the better ones in TCL, male or female.
Yeah, and she attacks wisely, gets inside, and what you really like about her, the big right hand gets in. She doesn't study the situation too long, makes a quick decision, and then springs into action. She also has exceptional balance.
The 2 losses on Davis.
She's been setting that up the whole fight. That's that punch. She's looking for that knockout. She's been going to the body and going over the top to the head, just like she just did. She's going to commit to it, and I believe, like I said, she's going to get a beautiful highlight.
But only 10-9 at this point, unless she can get some thunder. So I think a moral victory for Nashville, able to hold that to 10-9, because another 30 seconds and that looks like it's 10-8 or 10-7.
As Bubba said, it was one-way traffic and it was all Ariel Davis.
And she came in here, good body work, pushing off, and then she moves to the side and comes at it again. And toward the end, this is when she had her chances for 10-8, but the clock got in the way.
The winner of this round by unanimous decision, 10-9, out of the red corner for the Atlanta attack, Ariel Davis. Nashville leads 107-102. This round brought to you by Balance of Nature, proud health supplement partner of TCL. Round 12 is in the 147-pound division. For the Nashville Smash, Hermes, the Warrior Kid, Horta. For the Atlanta attack, Javon Big Wolf Davis.
You know, people say, oh, he's my day one. Well, Javon Big Wolf Davis is day one with TCL, Team Boxing League. Been there since it started. This is his 3rd season with TCL for Davis. And right now, his Atlanta squad needs him to perform. They've won the last 2 rounds. Can they make it 3 in a row for Davis, who's 26-5 in TCL action for the 27-year-old born in Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
You're handicapping this. You're thinking that this is Atlanta's big chance for a run, and they've already come through with 2 fights. You've got Leatherwood after this, so this is a very strong part of Atlanta's lineup and can pull this team all the way back into it, now down by 5. And if you're Nashville, if you hold and get any of these, it's a very big swing for you.
I'm surprised this wasn't a money round matchup, because Hermes Horta, the 23-year-old Cuban, now living in Nashville, he's 7-0-1 in TCL, including a stoppage, and he got caught with the right hand by Javon Davis.
Now, I would share that sentiment. Sometimes the coaches have a little bit of an angle that they like to play and who they select for the money rounds.
Yeah, Davis will be back in round number 20, but he'll take it on to Yolis Molina. Only 1 round for Horta tonight. Halfway through round number 12, Atlanta trying to creep back in, down 5, 107-102.
And Davis is trying to work inside with Horta trying to muscle him here. Let's see who's going to go outside and take a chance and win it from there.
Yeah, both fighters outside of TCL, impressive careers. Orta, 10-0, 9 stoppages outside of TCL. Javon Davis, 8-0-1, 8 stoppages outside of TCL action. So both guys had that pop in their hands.
Orta has been one of the better performers for this team. And for Nashville, you're hoping he could be the stopper. And yet this has been on the inside. Orta has had some clear punches, and Davis is doing a lot of tying up on the inside. Always risky unless you somehow can get an opening because of that.
And there you see Davis holding onto that left arm of Orta, who looks frustrated now.
And what you have to do is not feed into it. You try to let the judges know that your opponent's holding.
Did those shots at the end do enough for Orta? He's showboating right at the bell.
That's a good way to go out. He thinks so.
Yeah, look at the emotion for the Cuban.
You know, you spend your whole fight round trying to put it together, and then in the last 25 seconds it does. It's quite a feeling.
So the Atlanta team standing up.
Now, they were a lot more vocal about 3 minutes ago. Let's see if they have that reason or if this is Orta being the stopper.
The winner of this round by unanimous decision, a score of 10-9 out of the blue corner for the Nashville Smash, Hermes the Warrior Kid Orta.
He's still fired up.
Leads 117-111. Round 13 is in the 168-pound division. For the Nashville Smash, one just business, Barajas. For the Atlanta Attack, former national champion, NIBA America's champion, Keandre Lightning Leatherwood.
This is round 13. They'll see each other in round 19. Bubba, when you know you're going to see somebody later on, what do you think that attitude is?
Well, I've always asked these guys, you know, the ideal is different sometimes. Sometimes these guys go, man, I go all out and I give him everything I got, and hopefully he's got to deal with it. And then sometimes, you know, the guys, you know, they set traps and maybe not give them everything. They not show them everything. Maybe they just give them, you know, maybe a nice little jab off the left hand and maybe a hook, and so they can set them up with the right hand later. It really depends, and it really determines what they're feeling at the moment.
Now, these two know each other. They split rounds back in April. Leatherwood won the first one. Leatherwood lost the first one and then won the second one. So they know how to avenge each other, Dave.
They really do. And now it's a stylistic adjustment. And if you're Leatherwood, you're trying to get some room on the outside against a guy who's cutting you off pretty well. So that's one thing he does there, is he ties up. Not all tying up is meant to destroy rhythm in a fight. It might be just to stop what your opponent did, give you a chance to set up something you want to do after that.
Leatherwood feeling really confident in their little slip of the punches. JB, Juan Barajas, just business, getting caught with the right hand from Leatherwood.
And you have to have the courage to stand there, which he did.
Landing a lot.
He stood there and then he landed a big shot.
Leatherwood's landing pretty well.
Look at the way he's moving around, Bubba, Leatherwood.
Absolutely, he's landing pretty well. He's doing what Atlanta wants him to do, you know, but it's a good matchup, and it's still a lot to be gained here for Nashville still. Leatherwood is doing good. Like he said earlier, he's finally getting into the rhythm. He's finally hearing and knowing what the coaches are saying and getting the cues and the calls. He was rusty earlier in the year. As we're reaching the playoff season, you'll see a lot of these guys finally come into form. But Atlanta's got to do a lot of work, and he's going to need to be the catalyst of it if they're going to get that comeback coming again.
Yeah, Leatherwood also a veteran of TCL all 3 seasons. He has 21 rounds in TCL action. Born in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. You think he goes Roll Tide?
I think he might. It'd be a good guess.
Look at that. Leatherwood asking for Barajas to come in.
Well, he knows what he's been able to try and do and get some countering going. But he's trying to pop that right hand over the jab, but Barajas is not playing into it.
Now Barajas popping off. There we go. Talk about it, be about it. 10 seconds to go in round 13.
Remember all these splits. You're trying to make the final impression.
And they'll see each other again in round 19 in the money rounds, staring at each other.
Now, this fight really found itself in the last minute.
Mastering the golf course, nurturing your garden, or dancing the cha-cha-cha. Maintain your well-being with Balance of Nature fruits and veggies supplements, a formulated blend of 31 whole food ingredients. Imagine the possibilities when you feel your best, exploring new passions, rediscovering old ones, and embracing every moment with renewed enthusiasm. It's time to redefine what's possible and live life on your terms. Start your journey with Balance of Nature.
This was at the end. Let's see if that made a difference for him.
The winner of this round, by unanimous decision, 10-9, out of the red corner, for the Atlanta Attack, DeAndre Lightning Leatherwood.
Atlanta keeps hanging around.
Leads 126-121. This round brought to you by Serenity Springs Recovery Center, a place of recovery and self-discovery. Round 14 is in the 175-pound division. For the Nashville Smash, William the Kid Langston. For the Atlanta Attack, the Great Money Powell.
Now this is a good matchup right here. I like this one, Langston and Money Powell. And they'll do it again in round 23 in the money round. Money Powell in the white, son of a serviceman, was born in Germany, now living in Atlanta. William Langston, the Kid is the nickname with the blonde hair. At Kenosha, Wisconsin, the 31-year-old started boxing at 23. He founded gym and then started moving up the ranks. Only 3 amateur bouts before he won the Wisconsin Golden Gloves. Turned pro, started to make some noise in the Midwest. Now training in Chicago.
And these guys are going for it, looking to set up a big shot on the inside.
And Langston trying to establish a non-profit boxing gym in Kenosha that's going to be focusing, boxing is important, but more on the mentorship, the support, the youth development, and stuff that he feels is a real calling for him. The father of 4 boys, trying to set that positive example for his family and the community.
Well, you could take a lot of kids on the borderline and point them the right way. There's a lot to be said for that, and there are a lot of those type of things.
And Langston's grandfather was a civil rights activist with the NAACP, and that's where he gets that sense of responsibility for the community. He says that grandfather marched with Dr. Martin Luther King. So the family really into social work and make a difference in the community. And Langston putting the name out there in the world of boxing.
And whether you think it's a world issue or just the idea of lifting people up, which is making a statement and empowering them, that's also important. And you have to really salute the commitment to that and the attitude behind trying to lift the young kids up.
Well, this thing with Langston, talking about setting the positive example, not just for his 4 boys, but for the community, trying to be a pillar. And he's going up against Money Powell. Mentioned he's the son of a serviceman, born in Germany, Army brat, bouncing around, knowing the importance of carrying on the family name. He's Money Powell the 4th. It is a legacy name And he said it's real important for him to put on the right show, to keep the legacy going for the family. Like really good, fine gentlemen boxing tonight.
Like my money before me, my money before that. Yeah. I'll tell you what, all of that being important, these guys have also put on a nice fight for us here.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see them again in round 23. I think this is the round where we kind of feel each other out to see what's going on.
By definition, Money Powell belongs in the money rounds.
If he's not there, what are we doing, dude?
You have to change something. And, you know, this has been a good back and forth tilt and an important call coming from the judges. You know, the action going back and forth, the jab getting in, the good body shots, countering. It's really just a matter of what the judges saw and preferred.
Big for Atlanta, trying to hang around.
Fight fans, we have a split decision.
Oh, you don't say.
Our first judge scores this round 10-9 for William Langston. Our second judge scores this round 10-9 for Money Powell. Our third judge scores this round 10-9 for your winner via split decision. Out of the red corner for the Atlanta Attack, the great Money Powell. Nashville leads 135-131. Round 15 is in the 199-pound division. For the Nashville Smash, Rayvon Big Shot Baxter. For the Atlanta Attack, Jonathan the Reaper Rice.
Atlanta Attack doing an excellent job here in the middle rounds, climbing back into this match, only down by 4. They've won 4 rounds in the money rounds after only winning 1 in the launch stanza. Jonathan Rice trying to get it even closer in the white trunks for the Atlanta Attack.
Boy, and when you look at it, how important was that win by Orta for Nashville? This would be a 2-point fight. So that was a big moment for Nashville to come up with the stop. And Atlanta, you've rallied your way back in, and you can get real close.
Jonathan Rice, 5-4 in TCL action. And Rayvon Baxter, a 29-year-old from Dayton, Ohio, he's 0-3 in TCL action, including 1 stoppage. So if you're Rice, knowing that the last time that Baxter was in the ring, he was stopped by El Monstruo Yunieski Gonzalez from Miami, you gotta go for it.
You have to. 1 stoppage makes this practically an even fight. Well, when you look at deficits, there are a lot of theories, but I think once you cut it down into 3 or 4 point range, you're in it. You're there, and then 1 shot can get you right, you know, within a heartbeat of the lead. And even having said all of that, it's the Nashville fighter coming out aggressively like his team was 4 points behind.
Well, if you're Baxter, you got to fight for pride, too. You know your team is behind you. You're looking for your first victory. Up next will be the big boys, Tony Johnson Jr. and Samuel Clarkson. Overhand right from Rice. He goes back to it.
He's fighting with a lot of confidence on the outside and then being able to launch into his better shots. And the left hook has been his bread and butter so far.
He's doubling up the hook. Each one lands a left uppercut. Does Jonathan Rice to the body now, does Rice. Baxter getting some punishment to both sides of the rib cage. Now fighting back off the ropes. Uppercut again from Jonathan Rice. Pounding the body is the big man, Jonathan Rice from Texas. Baxter against the ropes. That's not a good spot. He's breathing heavy. Still showing some heart, though. Baxter lands a couple of shots upstairs. Rice not budging.
Jonathan Rice is Jonathan Dice right here. He's rolling the dice, trying to get...
Uppercut for Jonathan Rice. Final seconds of round number 15. An excellent round for Jonathan Rice and the Atlanta attack. Now I'm going to circle that one there, Dave. I think we know.
Yeah, and that left hook was like automatic, almost like you press a button and it kept coming out. And he knew what was at stake. He really did try and get that big point differential for his team.
Yeah,
Just gets the one.
He went for it.
By unanimous decision, by a score of 10-9, out of the red corner for the Atlanta attack, Jonathan the Reaper Rice. Nashville leads 144-141. Round 16 is in the 205-pound plus division. For the Nashville Smash, former three-time ACA World Champion, King of the Cage World Champion, Bare Knuckle Boxing World Champion, Tony Johnson Jr. For the Atlanta attack, Samuel Mr. Red Clarkson.
This is Clarkson's debut in TCL, and the southpaw comes out aggressive. Debut for TCL, but he's a veteran of the fight game as he's 22-7 with a draw, 15 KOs outside of TCL. One of those losses came to Dimitri Bivol back in 2017. That was at 175 pounds. Bubba, this is the one we've all been looking forward to.
Absolutely, especially when the big boys get to swing in their gloves. You can feel it in the chest. You can hear it in the crowd. It's the one we've all been waiting for.
You know, when you're going against someone making his TCL debut, I think you put your foot in the pedal and press the pace more than you might even normally to see if he can squeeze into this 3-minute period.
And you see the Nashville Smash standing up for their big man, Tony Johnson, who's 3-2-1 in TCL action, the 39-year-old from Ohio. But the last time he was in the ring, Johnson got the stoppage.
And that's what they're hoping for. Let the big man raise us up.
Yeah, like you guys were saying, the vet, you know, Tony Johnson likes to, you know, he's got to get in here. He's got to figure out what he wants to do against someone who hasn't been in here often at all. He's making his debut. So you kind of have the advantage. You can push the pace. You can know how to get out in front and maybe last a little bit. You know, him being Tony Johnson being a veteran, he knows all styles of boxing, but especially in this round being the TCL vet on a debuter.
And you're like, wait, that's Samuel Clarkson? Yeah, 11 years ago, he fought at 168 against Jesse Hart on the Zurdo Ramirez show back at the Mandalay Bay.
Talk about the throwbacks and the family lineage. You better believe it.
Yeah, so Clarkson's been around the block. I mentioned Dimitri Bivol in 2017.
And I'll tell you, he's fighting better than we've seen a lot of guys in their debut perform. So, you know, you look at it and say edge Nashville, but don't talk Clarkson then.
Yeah, Clarkson hasn't been in the ring in 3 years. Obviously some ring rust, but he looks like he's adapting well to TCL. And if he adapts to TCL, he could be a factor for them in the playoffs.
Yes, yes. You find some talent and a guy tailor-made for a situation.
And we'll see these two in the final round. Round 24 in the money rounds. We'll end with the heavyweights. What will be the score when we get there? Because right now, Nashville is up by 3. Did Samuel Clarkson edge this round? Did Tony Johnson edge this round? Launch rounds went to Nashville. The middle round on the side of Atlanta, and we're done with 16.
And this is
with that smile on his face.
This is a big call. It's either going to be 2 points or 4. And if it's 4, if you could take stoppages out of it, you'd only have to win 2 of the last 8 rounds to at least be tied. But here we go. Johnson, Clarkson had a lot for him. Johnson was not able to line up the big shots as Clarkson dodged and went in and out. He fought very well.
The winner of this round by unanimous decision by the score of 10-9 out of the red corner for the Atlanta Attack, Samuel Mr. Red Clarkson. Fans, this is the second intermission. Your score right now.
It's now a 2-point difference. Nashville, their lead cut. They were up 79 at the end of the launch round. Now they're only up 2, 153, 151. We'll give you some highlights from the middle rounds. The women looking strong, but Atlanta Attack doing exactly what their name says. They're attacking. They're down by 2 at home. TCL, Team Boxing League on Merit TV Sports.
All eyes on the East. It's doubleheader time. First, catch the Philadelphia Smoke take on the Miami Assassins. Then, the NYC Attitude squares off against bitter rival the Boston Butchers. The East always throws down.
Oh, good combination.
Don't look away. Philly, Miami, then NYC, Boston. Tomorrow night at 9:30 on Merit TV.
I was drinking every day.
I was hooked on oxys.
My husband turned into someone I didn't recognize.
The addiction crisis. Worse than a pandemic, we have a growing epidemic. There are approximately 20 alcohol and drug-related deaths per hour every single day. Addiction is a disease. Like any other disease, it may have serious harmful effects and may lead to death if left untreated.
Introducing Serenity Springs Recovery Center, a place of recovery and rediscovery. We understand the unique challenges men face in their journey to recovery. Set on 38 private acres, our state-of-the-art facility offers a safe, supportive environment for healing and growth. Our team of dedicated professionals specializes in evidence-based treatment, providing our patients with the tools to overcome addiction and achieve long-term sobriety. If you or a loved one needs to make a change, call us today at 386-423-4540 or visit us online at serenityspringsrecovery.com and reclaim your life.
Balance of Nature is a proud partner of TCL Team Boxing. As a preferred customer, you get promo 1. I'm sorry here. I'm so happy about the sponsors we got. We got to get this promo in here for you. June 20th, we're going to have a doubleheader for you. Philadelphia and Vegas, Miami and the Boston Butchers. Then the following day, Dallas and Houston. Watch out for the Hitmen looking for their first win. June 21st, Nashville Smash back in action against San Antonio. Catch all the action right here on Merit TV Sports. Beth Duran alongside Dave Bontempo. Dave, I get all excited. I'm trying to figure out what's going on because Atlanta Attack came back in to this match when I thought it was going to be all Nashville pulling away. I was proven wrong.
It was a surge by Atlanta. Great move in the middle rounds of this contest, showing exactly what type of team they are. We said at the top of the second part of this, they had to show some character because they'd been coming out ahead of teams and running it from the front. Now they had a big deficit. What is this team? They've come all the way back. They have shown us a lot in the middle rounds, and that sets us up for a great finale. This is a terrific set of money rounds coming up now.
There was 2 rounds that really stuck out to me in the middle rounds. Let's look at the highlights that we have for you from what it was mostly Atlanta. Let's get going to round number 13. That was impressive with Juan Barajas and Keandre Leatherwood.
Yeah, this was one where, you expected this was going to be a big performance for Atlanta, but the Nashville fighter had other ideas. And this was a great back and forth fight.
See Leatherwood getting all excited. They're going to go at it again, but round 15, Baxter and Jonathan Rice. Excellent round for the big man Rice.
Yeah, and especially the last 30 seconds. He had like a left hook calculator just going off. Bing, 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 bing. He did everything but stop him. And, yeah, he knew what was at stake. So I'm glad to take a look at him, and really quite a performer.
There's a lot of bing, bing, bings coming your way. We got the money rounds fight card. Kuza and Glanty will be a good one. Johnson Jr. and Clarkson are going to end it. Will the score matter then? There's the 24th round. It's always important, but there's got to be another one, Dave, where you're like, this is the one I really want.
I think Davis is coming in here. Yep. You know, we want to take a look at this because that was a big part of the middle rounds. How would that Davis tandem do? So we have that to look at, and also a lot of character. It's about a lot of guts. It's about how much do you want to dig down. Can you find that something extra? It's matchups from the coaching perspective. It's a little bit down here from the fighters, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to show us.
You got to go down here. You got to go to the heart. You got to be upstairs. You got to get everything going on. It's time for the money rounds in Atlanta. The Attack are down by 2, 153-151. Patrick Creighton ready to bring in round number 17.
It's time for the money rounds. Right now, Nashville leads Atlanta 153-151. Round 17 is in the 160-pound division. For the Nashville Smash, Isaiah Elrod. For the Atlanta Attack, Vaughn Alexander.
All right, Elrod, Vaughn Alexander. Elrod got the decision back in round number 7, and this is something that's very important for the fighters, Dave. We've seen it in TCL. The veterans know how to do this, where they might fight in the launch rounds, which might have been about 20, 30 minutes ago, staying warm, staying loose, to where the money rounds really matter for you.
It really does, and we've seen the break taken different ways by fighters. Some like to have 15, 20 minutes, get right back to it while it's still fresh, everything they accomplished. And some fighters like to stay loose, think about it some more, and go out. And it's really an individual decision.
Let's see how Elrod, the 25-year-old, uses his youth against the veteran Vaughn Alexander, who's 39 years old.
Well, you definitely want to use a lot of footwork when you're going against someone much older. Make him use his legs and try to get him to open up so that you can catch him on the switch.
Elrod landed a couple upstairs. Elrod has some power outside of TCL. He has 4 stoppages in the 6 victories. Snapping the jab. Following with the left, Elrod in the navy and blue, navy and yellow.
And right now it's Elrod acting like the fly, and Alexander trying to be the fly swatter, trying to catch him when he's buzzing around, and that's been the story here so far. Elrod gets in and out.
It's not difficult to fight Vaughn Alexander. He doesn't stand in the middle of the ring. He doesn't want to chase you. He doesn't want to move around. He just wants to go back and forth.
So what you have to do is make him uncomfortable with the pace, and you make him reload. You throw a couple punches there. Key now is if you're Elrod, you boxed well, make sure you maintain that distance far enough away. You don't want one shot to change it.
At the end of the launch rounds, Nashville had a 6-point lead. End of the money rounds, it was down to 2. Now in the money rounds, the ones that count. Round number 17, we give you 24 round here on TCL Team Boxing League. Elrod with the solid 1-2.
Now he's getting his confidence up as he's been landing his punches. One thing to keep in mind for him as he gambles for more is that he's giving Alexander the one chance Alexander has to win, which is if you stand in front of him.
You see Ryan Martin and the Atlanta Attack trying to root on Vaughn Alexander. And it's Elrod with the combinations. Elrod peppering the head of Vaughn Alexander.
This is a beautiful sense of watching a guy in his boxing intellect. Stick and move.
That's how you start the money rounds. Come out aggressive.
Aggressive and yet smart. Smart enough not to be in front of the power guy, and then you can buzz around him. The fly avoids the fly swatter. Taking a look at what we're talking about there. That shot gets in, but as he's moving, that's the footwork, the hooks, everything, but he doesn't overdo it. He scores and stays outside.
Round by unanimous decision. The score of 10-9 out of the blue corner for the Nashville Smash, Isaiah Elrod.
Elrod gets...
Nashville leads 163-160. This round brought to you by Climax Moonshine Fire number 32, known to bring the heat. Round 18 is in the 154-pound division. For the Nashville Smash, Jeremiah the Proof Hinton. For the Atlanta Attack, U.S. Army veteran Amin Fast Eddie Mitchell.
So Fast Eddie, Amin Mitchell, the Proof, Jeremiah Hinton. They met in round 6. Hinton got the nod. Bubba Jenkins is standing by with a Money Pal. What's going on, Bubba?
That's right. I'm here with the great Money Powell, and I was walking by the ring earlier, and I heard the coaches get you guys together. As you guys pulled closer, what was the coach saying over there to you guys?
He was just reminding us of how hard we've been working, and we started the season 0-3, but we dug deep and we've won 3 straight. So he was just reminding us of that winning spirit that the team has, and we've cultivated that since the beginning of the season. You know, it was rough, but we fought back, we battled back.
All right, and you're coming up again in the money rounds. Your name is the great Money Powell. Coach going to be leaning on you for the money rounds. You got the catalyst starters. You got them started on this run. How's Atlanta going to finish? Are you going to be a part of that?
Yes, sir. We're looking to finish strong. One team, you know, all of us, we doing our thing together. You know, we all cheering each other on, and God's been blessing us with the victory, the strength, and I give all praise to him, you know, because when I step in that ring, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be able to survive in life, point blank period. So all glory to the Father.
All right, well, Money Pal, thank you for it. We're watching you coming up in the money rounds. Back at you guys with the action.
We'll see money in round 23, but will it matter for the Atlanta Attack? They need to get some rounds banked, and right now Amin Mitchell has his hands full against Jeremiah Hinton, who looked like he was shot out of a cannon, how fast he got started.
Yeah, the second time through, give it a shot, come right out.
He gets dropped. Amin Mitchell drops Hinton for the second time tonight. He dropped him in the 6th. He drops him in the 18th.
Well, when you come out like you've been shot out of a cannon, these are the gambles that you make. You might score big, or you could end up on the seat of your pants.
That's big right now. If it holds up, it's a 10-8 round, but if Mitchell were to stop Hinton, it makes it 10-7. And that means we would be tied with less than a minute to go in round number 18. Stunning shot from Mitchell.
The way these guys have been fighting, the knockdown is just the first introduction as to what they're doing.
Hinton was caught towards the end of round number 6. And that stayed locked in. Mitchell caught him and does it again in round 18. That's huge for Atlanta. We heard Money Powell talking about the coach Sam Arnold was telling him how hard you've been working. You started the season 0-3. Dig deep, and that's what Amin Mitchell is doing, the Army vet.
And this is a team showing a lot of character. I talked about it earlier, how it's one thing to win as a front runner and to blow teams out right away and be coasting through the money rounds, but this Atlanta team has come from way back to be right there now.
They only took 1 round in the launch rounds. Usually when that happens, it's an early night for everybody else.
Yeah, it is. You don't see that type of rush back. But plus dropping the first fight in the middle rounds. So that was a 7-point deficit at one point. And yet here is Atlanta within one. All right, this is how three becomes one. Not a big shot, but it's worth a couple points.
2-8. Out of the red corner for the Atlanta Attack, Amin Fast-Eddie Mitchell. Nashville leads 171-170. Round 19 is in the 168-pound division. For the Nashville Smash, one, just business, Barajas. For the Atlanta Attack, former national champion and IBA America's champion, Keandre Lightning Leatherwood.
Big round between Juan Barajas for Nashville and Keandre Leatherwood. Both of them have some power in those hands. Outside of TCL, they've been getting the knockdowns. Barajas started his career back in 2017 fighting in bars in Tijuana. Literally, the escape bar was his first fight ever in Tijuana. Worked his way to the Southern California club circuit and ended up in Memphis. And here he is on TCL. He's 4-5 on the season, having dropped the previous round 13 to Leatherwood.
There was a talent scout in one of those bars.
Absolutely.
The word got around.
The 36-year-old Leatherwood has 13 KOs outside of TCL action in his 24 victories. But he doesn't have any stoppages in TCL.
No, it's a lot harder thing to do inside that 3-minute distance, especially if you're the type of fighter whose knockouts have occurred via accumulation.
Victorville, California is home for just business Juan Barajas. It's driving from Southern California to Vegas. You pass, it's the high desert, the home of Ryan Garcia. That's where Ryan grew up. Leatherwood, the 36-year-old. Very confident. I love Leatherwood's approach. Throwing those combos.
Yeah, and this is where you really sense that team concept kicking in, because he's trying to bring his team all the way back, being cheered on. Everything in his mind might right now probably going well. It's put another bounce in his step in everything he's doing. And Barajas is there. He's game, looking for one big shot.
Leatherwood, a couple years ago, fought the Canelo Alvarez Jermell Charlo undercard. He lost to Terrell Gaucher, who's competed for the title a couple times, come up short, a U.S. Olympian. Gaucher is trained by Manny Robles, who trains the LA Elite. He also got stopped by Christian Mabili in France back in 2019. Caleb Truax stopped him in 2017. So Leatherwood's been around. Remember Andy Lee at Madison Square Garden? He took him on. But Leatherwood, it just looked like, I've been around the block. I am confident. I know what I'm doing. You might be just business, Juan Barajas, but look at me.
Yeah, and no matter when I laced him up, I'm figuring to win. And most of the times he has. Such a gigantic crossover between all types of boxing and then the TCL. There's a spot for everybody.
Leatherwood was on the Triple G Daniel Jacobs card at Madison Square Garden. Also had Chocolatito on that card back in 2017. Also on that card, his teammate, Ryan Martin, was on that card.
And now, can he get his team even?
I think he did.
I think he did too. Atlanta has never led.
No, they
and yet, all the way back to a tie if they get this call.
The winner of this round by unanimous decision by the score of 10-9. In the red corner for the Atlanta Attack, Keandre Lightning Leatherwood. We are tied at 180. This round brought to you by Balance of Nature, proud health supplement partner of TCL. Round 20 is in the 147-pound division. For the Nashville Smash, Yoelis Big Dog Molina. For the Atlanta Attack, Javon Big Wolf Davis.
Molina won round 5 against Ryan Martin. And Javon Davis lost round 12 against Orta. And these two are just roughing it up here in round number 20. And it's tied at 180. I didn't think we were going to get to this. I thought by the time we get to the middle rounds, I thought it'd be Nashville pulling away. Bubba, are you surprised that Atlanta tied it up?
I'm not surprised, you know. Sam Arnold said, you know, he told him in the corner, oh, that's a knockdown right there. That's some points right there. They might not call it, but they might get it.
The referee is not calling it a knockdown.
I'm not surprised, as we were talking about, Sam Arnold was on him.
And I think that Bubba, Atlanta's shown a lot about their character coming back from so far, because their other wins, they were front runners. They had big leads. Here they came from way behind.
Absolutely, and the comeback was big because, like you guys were saying, they only had won one round in the launch rounds, and so they had to really make a big difference, and they had to really make up a lot of matches in that middle rounds. Now we're in the money rounds, and Sam Arnold came over here, looked at the rest of the guys, and he's like, all right, I like it. Started matching it up. He said, all right, good, we're going to win this. So Sam Arnold, the way he's looking down the stretch, he feels like he has this in the bag.
Well, you know, Nashville hasn't seen that memo, so there's...
Atlanta, Dave, has won 6 of the last 7 rounds.
Yeah, and consider a 7-point deficit in the beginning of the middle rounds, and all of this without the knockdowns. And there you got one.
Is that going to be ruled a knockdown? No, it's not. It's going to be pushed. The referee sees a very aggressive Molina popping up, and now Davis takes a swing
that could
as
be
the
a
referee
point.
moves between them.
That's got to be a point. Hitting on the break deliberately, I think this is a point.
And it's going to be a point taken away from Molina. Molina was super aggressive, and it was Davis who took the swing while the referee was standing between them.
Wow. Now you've got to get your composure back. Sure, when you do something big.
And Molina pushes down Davis. A tension convention is going on. It's not a knockdown. Molina is looking at the timekeeper saying he's counting. It's not.
Referee should stop the fight
and control
walk them both back and talk to them and say, I'm in charge of this fight now. Stop it.
And now a point taken away from Javon Davis for holding. So the point deductions wash out.
Well, that is monumental for Davis to get that point back.
Molina and Davis are just champing at the bit, ready to go. And the referee has lost control of this round.
Yes.
Legacy Arena crowd letting them know how they feel.
So with all that, you're back to square one. And
whoa. Molina punches after.
That should be another point.
Referee didn't see it. Molina needs to calm down. Referee needs to calm everybody down.
Stop it. Walk them both back. Talk to the fighters.
And now the Cuban fighter, Orta, is popping off. And now we got people in the ring, and Orta needs to calm down. That Nashville squad is losing control here in round number 20. I get it. Orta is standing up for his countrymen in Molina, but it's not his fight.
No, and it's very hard. You have to let your emotions remain in check. and stay with what's in front of you, trying to help your team.
All right, let's bring in Bubba, who's ringside. And now the commotion outside of the ring. It is mayhem in Legacy Arena in Atlanta as the teams are outside of the ring. Somebody's trying to bring composure. You see Dewey Cooper in the middle. This is not good.
Yeah, a lot going on down here. Dewey's over there trying to straighten it out. You know, it's gotten a little bit madness. You know, some of the crowds got into it, and then some moms came out, some sisters came out. You know, Nashville didn't take likely to it. Then it got a little bit mixed up. Then we got one of the coaches, you know, that was hitting mitts with the guys from Atlanta. He took offense to the way that Nashville came out, and now we got everybody in the middle. We got people that are paying coaches playing referee, people that are paying judge playing referee. Got police out here. It's a little bit wild.
All right, let's remember the fight's supposed to be in the ring. And the fight is Davis and Molina. But a lot of this had to do because the referee lost control in the middle of the round.
He wasn't able to convince the fighters, I'm in charge here. So basically, and the fighters took liberties. Referee had to be more firm. And, you know, there were 2 points taken just before that.
And Molina is still popping off. He needs to calm down. Everybody just needs to calm down.
You don't want to be on the wrong end of a point deduction that makes a big difference for your team.
Not even that, though, Dave. We've had such a beautiful night of boxing.
Yes,
we don't want this to mar what's been, so far, an excellent 19 rounds. Fred Goulet controlling his Nashville team. There you see Sam Arnold, his assistant, talking to the Atlanta attack.
Now you have to cool the temperature down on this before you resume.
That's right.
And make sure that everyone understands the implications and the whys.
Both fighters have had a point deducted in this round. Excellent job by the TCL staff in the building to push everything, and it didn't escalate. It could have got ugly.
Surprising thing when you quickly look at this thing is how quickly the second point was assessed after the first for holding.
And I think they're looking at Horta, who almost jumped into the ring. He was on the apron. He had nothing to do with it. And Hermes Horta.
Well, there could be some discipline and everything going on.
There should be, because there's no
with
need
the
for
league
Horta to
after this.
Yeah.
Yes,
Horta should never have been on the apron. He escalated.
He did, and it was allowed to escalate, and they have to bring this back. It has been an excellent night of fighting, so wait until it's right, and then resume, right?
So there you see Horta going at it with Davis, and it wasn't his fight. He had nothing to do with it and tried to get in. Excellent job by that referee, making sure Horta didn't come in, and now security is escorting Horta. Good. Take him out of there. There's no need for him to be around right now. He did his job earlier. He got the round, but he's not fighting again, so there's no need for him to be there. De-escalate everything.
Yeah, that's what they're doing now. This just came out of control quickly. Yeah, and sometimes we say that, that referees may be a little too punitive, but this time the referee was too lax.
But calm is back. So it looks like it.
We're in the final minute of the 20th round.
20.
And after...
Let's see what the Georgia Commission decides. Because do they want this round to continue, or can they just wash it?
That's a tough call, because...
You see Von Alexander. That's when you know you're a savvy vet. 39.
Yeah.
All right, look, I've seen this, been here, done. I'm not getting involved.
I say you let them get back involved. Let the temperature cool down. Let them finish. Main thing you want to avoid is the odd penalty. I mean, from a team standpoint, you want everything to be even at least, so that the fighters will decide it.
That's the other thing. Let it be decided inside the ring. And there's just so much on the line here. That doesn't look good the way they're talking.
No. Yeah.
So we have two officials in the ring now.
We heard someone say no contest.
So Molina's being told that he's done. I think somebody has to translate for Molina.
This round has been declared a no contest. It is a no contest.
All right, so both fighters disqualified. As much as I wanted to see that round end, I'm okay with him.
Yeah.
DQ. You know what? Let's watch this and move on. So it'll be scored 0-0. And so they're translating for Molina, letting him know what happened.
I mean, they probably was close to even in the last minute anyway because of the points being swapped.
Due to the no contest, our score remains tied at 180.
Never a dull moment at TCL. Great job by the TCL staff on site to de-escalate everything for what a situation that could have got ugly. But again, Dave, this is boxing. Emotions are running high. You're hitting each other. Everything's running through you. You're fueling, and that was a testy round. You can see why things get out of control.
Round 21 is in the 205-plus pound division. For the Nashville Smash, Fernando the Legend Cuza. For the Atlanta Attack, Brandon Bulletproof Glanton.
Let's go, Cuza. Well, this is what you want, Dave. You want the heavyweights to take care of business.
Well, after about 2 hours and 10 minutes and 20 rounds and 2 disqualifications, what's been settled? Nothing. It now comes down to these 4.
And the referee talking to both of them like, we're not having it. Let's have a fight. 3 minutes, round 21 coming your way, and we are tied. Atlanta in the white. Cuza, the Cuban, with the navy blue and yellow for Nashville. Glanton lost the decision to Cuza in round 8. That was at the end of the launch rounds where Nashville took a 79-73 lead. The middle round, Atlanta fought back, cut the lead into 2, and now we're tied at 180. Big reason, Amin Mitchell with a 10-8 round in round 18 when he dropped Jeremiah Hinton.
And this has been a comeback largely devoid of the big power numbers. We've seen teams that will throw the big power people up there and can cut into a lead quickly. We've seen Atlanta had to peck all the way back, and Atlanta has managed to do that. And if you're Nashville, hey, we're right here with 4 fights to go.
Up next, Roger Hilly and Traquan Pettis, 135-pounders. Hey, you were right, though. That last round, the heavyweights, Tony Johnson Jr., Samuel Clarkson, going to be huge.
Yeah, and we were hoping when it was going on before that it would come down to those 2 because of the way they fought that. But I tell you, everything is magnified now at this stage. Every punch is magnified. Every combination is magnified. The pressure is magnified. That's why it takes a certain type of fighter to be in the money room.
Cuza hitting that jab and moving the taller fighter back against the ropes, trying to get that uppercut in. As Glanton just puts that tight guard, hard to break for Cuza.
Glanton trying to cut inside.
There's that body work from Cuza. There's a minute to go in round 21. We saw that body work in round 8, and Cuza still goes to it.
Talk about everything being magnified. When the ref breaks and looks at you, you don't want to be doing anything wrong.
Hold on to that punch you might have been throwing.
But here's why that action against the rope shows you a little difficult job for the judges, because they're both firing from in close. And who do you think is doing the better job? And that's a subjective analysis, as Glanton just missed with a whistling right hand.
Right hand from Glanton, 10 seconds to go in round 21. Usa, was he more active in the judge's eyes? Did he land the bigger shots? We will hear from the judges as we're done with 21 rounds.
So it would be Glanton on the perception of aggression, but what about the effective aggression? We're going to get a ruling on that, because there was some good counter-punching by Kuza.
And the judges have been very split decision.
Yes.
This evening. With right so, because some of these fights have been really, really tight.
Different vantage points. What are they looking
the
for?
Winner of this round by unanimous decision by the score of 10-9 in the blue corner for the Nashville Smash, Fernando the Legend Cuza.
La Leyenda, the legend.
Nashville leads 190-189. This round brought to you by Serenity Springs Recovery Center, a place of recovery and self-discovery. Round 22 is in the 135-pound division. For the Nashville Smash, Roger the Hitman Hilly. For the Atlanta Attack, Traquan Superman Pettis.
We have a 1-point lead for the Nashville Smash. Right now, the playoff standings: Philly, Vegas, Dallas, Miami, and Phoenix have clinched a playoff spot. Atlanta, New York City Attitude, the Nashville Smash, LA, San Antonio, Boston are on the playoff bubble. So what happens? Atlanta wins tonight, they're going to the playoffs. Nashville wins, they get one step closer. They need to win one more after tonight.
So you're Nashville saying, did you hear everything Beto just said? Come on, Roger.
Get us closer.
You can do it, Roger. Hilly lost the first time fairly decisively, and he's got a height and reach disparity to overcome.
Yeah. And Nashville, their next matchups will be against San Antonio and Philly, and Philly's undefeated right now. Again, you don't want to need help. Take care of business, and what can you do in the ring right now?
And also, everything you've done in the past is no guarantee. I mean, because Atlanta, you're coming in here with the 3-fight win streak, and Nashville has never trailed. It's been nip and tuck here lately, but Nashville has never trailed with 3 fights to go.
No, they haven't. Traquan Pettis, Superman Pettis. He won round 10 against Roger Hilly. Pettis has that long frame, doubling up the jab, long stick.
The stick can bother you, already making you reset when you come inside if you're Hilly, but you have to come in carefully because he can unload that right hand like a slingshot.
Up next, 175-pounders, William Langston and Money Powell. Hilly just covering up high guard.
Well, it's hard for him. This is what happens when you're the smaller fighter. You really have to win the fight twice. You have to get inside, which is one problem, and then take advantage of your scoring opportunities to a high degree. But you see, it's hard for him to get inside, and there's the uppercut coming at him, which is an appropriate shot.
That is really nice with this 1-2 uppercut, get out of the way.
Well, it seems like the theme for Pettis is relax, come inside, let me make you uncomfortable.
Yeah. Lure you in.
You see Hilly trying to do all the things you should do to get inside with the bobbing and the weaving, trying to get down low. He could probably do a little better job of that, becoming a little bit of a lower target, but he has to expend so much energy just getting into punching range that there's not that much time left over to attack. That's two nice efforts tonight by Pettis.
The winner of this round by unanimous decision by the score of 10-9 in the red corner for the Atlanta Attack, Traquan Superman Pettis. We are tied at 199. Round 23 is at 175-pound division for the Nashville Smash, William the Kid Langston. For the Atlanta Attack, the Great Money Powell.
Superman Pettis goes 2-0, and he ties it up. Bubba, you talked to Money Powell earlier, and he said, when I get to round 23, it is on. This is what he wanted.
Yeah, this is exactly what he wanted, but he's going against a really good fighter in Nashville's guy, so he really has to stay focused on what he's got here. You know, Money Powell's in the money rounds, you know, as we were saying with his name, and he was talking about how Coach Arnold got the group together and tried to get them, you know, focused on this round, focused on the money side, keeping them into the fight, keeping the crowd into it. Of course, that brawl might have broke some things up, they've forgotten some things, but we're here in this round with it being tied, and it's going to come down to Nashville doing what they need to do in the last round with Tony Johnson being the vet and a heavyweight, or Money Powell getting another victory in this round right here.
Hey, Bubba, I need you to do me a favor. Go to the corner of Nashville and eavesdrop and hear what Fred Dulé is telling his team. Because earlier we saw Nashville were standing up, but it doesn't seem like they have that same energy, Dave.
No, they don't have that same bounce as, you know, that started when Atlanta made that enormous run during the middle rounds of this contest. And, you know, there's a presence of mind you need toward the end of fights with money round fighters to take the moment.
Kenosha, Wisconsin for Langston. Germany for Money Powell, where he was born. That was looking good in round 23, halfway through round 23. Yeah, because when you build up that lead, Dave, sometimes you take your foot off the gas.
Well, you know, Atlanta did have some good people in the middle rounds, which we highlighted, which brought them close. But then, you know, a long drought for Nashville, and that can take the air out of the balloon, change the atmosphere in the room. So, but with all that, you know, there's a big win at stake for one of these teams, 2 or maybe 3 rounds away.
One of the big differences was round 18. Amin Mitchell got that knockdown, and after that, the tide has turned for Atlanta, who is still not led tonight, as you keep saying, Dave. They keep close, but they're not taking the lead.
Well, but it's good for them that they could come roaring back. It's unusual to be tied in the 23rd fight and never have led. So that says a lot about the fortitude of this Atlanta team to keep on fighting. You try to catch them at the wire with the last fight.
Well, you were talking about this earlier. Atlanta started the season 0-3, then they've rolled off 3 straight. And a lot of that is because Sam Arnold, the coach, not the quarterback, the way that he makes his fighters believe in themselves. It's huge.
Yeah. They also, you know, got some rust out, and they really came together as a team. But this one shows a lot. I think even more than those other ones, because of how they've had to really fight the clock and fight the results, coming from 7 points back. Let's see how this one, round 20, there is a good amount of work there. The Atlanta team coming on strong. Good body shots. Langston trying to get the money against the money man.
We have a split decision. Our first judge scores this round 10-9 for William Langston. Our second judge scores it 10-9 for Money Powell. Our third judge scores it 10-9 for your winner by split decision. Out of the blue corner for the Nashville Smash, William the Kid Langston.
The Kid
leads 209-208. Round 24 is in the 205-pound plus division. For the Nashville Smash, former three-time ACA World Champion, King of the Cage World Champion, Bare Knuckle Boxing World Champion, Tony Johnson Jr. For the Atlanta Attack, Samuel Mr. Red Clarkson.
It comes down to round 24. Nashville, thanks to the win by William Langston, has a 1-point lead. Getting dropped right away. Oh my! Samuel Clarkson says, forget the deficit. I'm coming for the KO as he drops Tony Johnson Jr. early in the round.
Atlanta's first lead, and it's over.
The fight has been stopped. Atlanta Attack has come all the way back and got the victory. They needed it in round 24, and they do it. Samuel Clarkson, welcome to the Atlanta Attack.
Boom. That's what a victory looks like in 2 punches. And he knows it too. He caught him perfectly, and what a performance here.
Wow, look at the reaction from the squad. They were down 6 at the end of the launch rounds, and they go home in the ATL with their hands
Our
raised.
official stops this round at 23 seconds for the winner by TKO, Samuel Mr. Red Clarkson.
How about that for
your final score? Atlanta Attack 218, Nashville Smash 216.
Woo-wee! How about that for debut Samuel Clarkson? The KO gives him the win. We'll give you the highlights, but right now it's all about ATL, the Attack. Attacked in the 24th round. And look at the teammates getting all fired up. Atlanta's going to the playoffs. TCL, Team Boxing League on Merit Sports.
Balance of nature, it's so simple. It's amazing getting the fruits and vegetables ingredients in 3 red and 3 green capsules.
I take Balance of Nature. I think it's convenient. I can do little capsules in the morning and I'm off to work, you know.
Balance of Nature, it's so easy to do. I feel great, and who doesn't want to feel great?
Get 35% off your first set as a preferred customer. Claim this offer by using discount code.
Talk is cheap when it comes to saving our country. We're not just any cell phone service provider. We're Patriot Mobile. It's not enough to simply talk about values. We live them. Defending life, protecting our First and Second Amendments, and celebrating our military and first responder heroes. We're boots on the ground making a difference. We're America's only Christian conservative wireless provider with nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks and 100% US-based customer service. Join Patriot Mobile today and make an impact every time you use your cell phone.
TCL Team Boxing League is brought to you by Climax Moonshine Fire Number 32. A drink not only made to tingle your senses with hot cinnamon flavor, but also made to pay tribute to firefighters all across America. This drink will put a kick in your step with its bold, hot smoothness. Whew. Let's take a look at our Fire Number 32 moment of the night, round 24. And it came quick, Dave Bontempo.
Clarkson gives Atlanta its first lead of the night and the permanent lead, as there it is, the 1-2 shot, and this is what decided it. What drama. Atlanta came all the way back and caught them at the wire.
Oh, the 2-piece biscuit, 1-2, left, right, good night. And Samuel Clarkson looking good for ATL in their debut. Let's go to ringside. Bubba Jenkins is with a fired up Attack squad. Right now, though, Patrick Creighton.
Your final score tonight The Atlanta Attack 218. The Nashville Smash 216. Time for our stars of the night. Our third star, Fernando Cuza. Our second star of the evening, Amin Mitchell. And our number one star of the evening, Samuel Clarkson. Tonight's round of the night was round 15. Rayvon Baxter and Jonathan Rice.
All right, I'm here with Sam Clarkson, still sweating, still feeling the vibe, still on the high from the knockout you got. Listen, it's a tide of the turn. He got a knockout just like that, but you got one to win it for your team. How do you feel right now, and how are you going to do for the rest of the season?
I mean, I feel amazing, you know what I'm saying? This is for my little sister, you know what I'm saying? She passed away, so we stepping, you know what I'm saying? So Atlanta, baby, we own it. Hey, we ain't ducking no action, baby. I'm gonna train harder, and whatever I gotta do to make that shit continue, we gonna keep doing it, you dig?
Man, that was a punch for the wages right there. One punch, one quitter. Got the team win for you. That was for your sister, man. Congratulations on a wonderful debut.
Yeah, hey, man, God is good, baby. All the time, God is great. Thank you to everybody that showed out for us, Atlanta. Hey, we on, baby. That's how we rocking.
Again, Coach, got another victory here. You said you were going to change it around. Last time you was in Nashville. This time we're in Atlanta. You got the job done. Knockout by your debut. What do you got to say about your team's performance?
Hey, man, I don't got to say nothing about me. I got all to say about this man, because when people talk about mental health, it's really he been going through a major depression, and he been a friend of mine for a long time. I don't want none of the spotlight. He lost his sister. His dad was in the hospital, so this is exciting for him, a person who's been boxing for a long time, to get back in the ring. When he had a little doubt, I talked him through the whole week. It ain't about me, it's about him today, man.
It's about him today, and it's about your team. You guys just clinched the playoffs right there. Congratulations.
Yes, sir, man. Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you to my team. We kept fighting regardless of what was going on. Some of the rounds I feel like we got, but still we pulled it through, and I'm excited and I'm happy, man. We're gonna keep smashing the gas on everybody, man. Let's go.
Atlanta, we on, baby.
Congratulations, Atlanta. Atlanta Attack, your victory.
Congratulations to Atlanta. The Atlanta Attack clinch a playoff spot right there. It was beautiful to see, but you have boxing, and then you have your life, and you can hear the emotion from Clarkson fighting for the heavy heart for her sister who passed away.
What a terrific story. The whole idea of rising up, and not only that, but to have this moment in which he could do it for the team, and they get this big moment, which kind of supersedes what's going on as far as the sport itself. But capping an unbelievable night. Nashville, it was yours all the way. Atlanta gets out there at the very end and shows a lot with their heart.
That heart was there. What else was there? Round 20 and 24. The highlights coming your way. Round 20 was Molina and Javon Davis. Oh, it got spicy. It really got spicy.
Yeah. This is an exciting 0-0. Right? They got disqualified. Points taken on both sides caused the delay. So we were tied at that point, and we stayed tied. And that would be the backdrop until we would have one more big highlight.
Nashville led most of the night. A couple times it was tied, but in round 24, Dave, boom!
Boom, boom, Clarkson. Look at that. When do you see a fight result turn around that quickly and permanently? Only if you do it in the last round.
TCL, Team Boxing League, you never know what you're going to get, and the fight ended in round 24 by a man in Clarkson who was making his TCL debut. Sam Arnold said, hey, I've known him for a long time. Let me give him an opportunity. They clinch a playoff spot. So many beautiful things tonight.
I love what we saw in this fight card tonight. I love Atlanta being able to come back. I love the effort that Nashville gave. They did everything to break their losing streak. They'll take something good out of here because they came up with a very good performance. And we saw a lot about what's great about this league, in that there are human stories and there are fighters who have one thing going, another thing going, but on a perfect night like this, it all comes out.
All right, Nashville still has an opportunity for the playoffs. Whoa, man. ATL, you're going to the playoffs for Dave Bontempo and the entire crew. Bubba Jenkins, I'm Bethel Durant. Thanks for watching TCL, Team Combat League on